This is Jhaun Pryce, your real estate advocate, coming to you with another golden nugget. What do I need to do to prepare as a buyer to purchase a home? We're going to talk about 3 items here. We're going to talk first your credit, which is obviously very important. We're going to talk about documentation, and then we're going to talk about savings, i.e. that is your down payment, your closing costs, or your reserves, right? So whenever we're looking to buy a home, we need to try to keep our credit score right around the 680 credit mark. Keeping in mind that the lender will typically look at all 3 credit reports, the TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian report, and they're going to look at whichever one falls in the middle. You can go down to 620 or even below that. Just keep in mind that is not optimal, however. Optimal would be at 680 or higher. Now, whenever we're looking at the purchase as well, you want to consider your documentation. Now, documentation is important because whenever people do more importantly, your tax returns, let's talk specifically about that. Whenever you're doing your tax returns, a lot of times people will do tax write-offs, or they'll what we call itemize on the tax return. Whenever you're doing that, keep in mind that the lender is going to look at your adjusted gross income whenever you're looking to purchase a home. So what the IRS looks at is if you're trying to skip out on taxes, then guess what? They're not going to lend on your particular loan. Keep that in mind. So the higher your adjusted gross income is, the better it is for you when it comes time for you to buy a home. You may pay more taxes, but it does make it easier for you to qualify for a mortgage. The other thing that you have to consider are your savings, right? So your down payment, we have programs that you can get in with as little as 3% down. You do have to consider your closing costs. Typically, your closing costs are going to run you on average between about 3 to 4.5% of your purchase price. So realistically speaking, I tell people 10% is a good number to aim for. If you don't have 10%, you can do 3% down, 3% for your closing costs. So that could be 6%. But at a bare minimum, you really should aim for the 6% because you do have your closing costs and your down payment that you have to consider. And the seller can contribute to your closing costs. However, depending on the market, it may be difficult for you to get seller contributions. Keep it in mind that the lender, depending on your loan type as well, may look to see that you have enough money sitting there for which you can carry your mortgage for several months after you've done the closing. So we want to keep these things in mind whenever we're considering to buy a home. This is Jhaun Pryce coming to you again with a golden nugget. If you have any questions whatsoever regarding this is typically a 30 to an hour conversation that we have, and I've compressed this to kind of prepare you if you're about a year out. Let me know. I'm here. Thank you.